How's it going, YouTube? This is Wi-Fi Member here today, bringing you guys a best of 3 against Nick, aka NRF, off of Discord. Looking at his team, he's got Thunderous, Mamoswine, Neoligo, Chandelure, Kartana, and Tapu Fini. And this is a very interesting team because this revolves around 2 Pokemon I'm planning on building for January's team, which is Neoligo and Mamoswine. So kind of seeing an early look on what he wants to do with that will maybe influence the way I want to build a team myself in the future. But looking at our team, it's what we were rocking out with. Some of the EVs and stuff have changed due to me catching Glastrier, and he happened to have best in speed when I caught him. And and I said, well, that's okay, because I think I can actually tweak it and make it to where Glastrier is just like so OP anyway. So I given him a Jolly Nature. We've kind of given him a Jolly Nature. We're riding our Whimsicott. Instead of having Energy Ball, I've switched it out for a Trick Room. So now we got Tailwind and Trick Room on our Whimsicott. So we can actually go for both options with our Whimsicott. And we also have Stakataka that can go for Trick Room. So that kind of makes us to where we're kind of like a hard Trick Room team, but that we also have the option to go for Tailwind mode as well. So our speed is kind of all over the place, really, and I think it honestly makes for some really fun games with this team. This is actually the first video that you guys see with us using this team, so let me know in the comments down below on what you guys think about this weird speak troll type thing. I kind of wanted it to be somewhat weird because the original idea was to use Speed Boost, and then I wanted to pair it with Trick Room to begin with anyway. Speed Boost, I already have a video on why we're not using Speed Boost over Tailwind. Go check it out if you're interested. But anyway, let's get into this battle. As you see, our opponent, Nick, over here, he went ahead and Dynamaxed his Thunderous as we Dynamax our Glastrier. We set up Tailwind, we outspeed Thunderous, we go for Max Hailstorm, and we get a critical hit. I don't know if it necessarily matters. The reason that it could matter, the reason I will probably live in this Meteor Beam is thanks to our full HP investments. We're full HP and we're full speed investment. So we're very bulky, and I have 4 in his attack. To me, 4 in his attack still does so much damage to like all the metagame. You look at what's popular. You got Thunderous, you got Landorus, you got even this Neoligo. A lot of the threatening Pokemons to him, if he had max attack investment, he would still be 2-hit KOing them. Same with 0 investment. Once we get, I mean, there's so many things though that we just one-shot too, which is so crazy. So I figure us getting the Chilling Neigh, 1 or 2 boosts of that, and we're at full power, basically what we want anyway. So I'm willing to make our boy a little bulky so he can last a little bit longer. In these games, you'll see us Dynamaxing Glastrier a lot. In fact, all 3 of these battles we end up Dynamaxing Glastrier. As we go for Max Quake, and we can actually OHKO the Neoligo to the following turn. But we'll Dynamax Glastrier a lot in these 3 games, actually all 3 times. But this team is so functional with different Dynamax options, and that's one thing I kind of wanted to pinpoint. I know necessarily in this video we're not really showcasing it, but I do want you guys to know that like Xurkitree is a great Dynamax Pokemon. It's just in these battles, Xurkitree just wasn't the big call to be Dynamaxed. Another issue with this team is that we do have weaknesses to grass mons, like this Kartana. In fact, Kartana usually is one of the harder ones for us to deal with if we are not set up to deal with it. In this battle, we were able to double into it and just KO it before it could do anything. So, and that was fantastic because in the next 2 games, he doesn't even bring it. So I think us being able to do that turn right there to just show him that we can handle your Kartana made him think, oh, I don't need to bring Kartana because Kartana did literally nothing. Game 1 does go to us. We are able to go for a big Vicious Rend and then follow up with a big Heavy Slam to get the KO. So this to me seems like a very offensive Tapu Fini. Don't quote me on that, but I'm taking that information and taking that into game number 2. If you guys did enjoy, jump into game number 2. Alright guys, so in game number 2, I wanted to test the waters just a little bit. I kind of wanted to go for a Trick Room route just to see kind of how he adapts to that. And kind of showing you guys also that our team can play very well in Trick Room. He does make a counter lead though to us by bringing out Neoligo and Chandelure. And at this point I was thinking, I mean I could easily just do the same turn and go for Tailwind, but I was like, I'm going to try it. I think I definitely want to try and maybe get some momentum in the Trick Room route. The biggest thing is I just need to get rid of his Chandelure, really. But yeah, he makes a really great play by going for a Meteor Beam and then follow up with his Chandelure to go for a Heat Wave, and it actually just demolishes our Glastrier here. Meteor Beam does so much, and you gotta think, we're Glastrier. Without the Tailwind boost, we're not outspeeding, but with the Tailwind boost, we would have probably outsped. So this kind of set me up definitely for a game-free scenario right here. There is still a chance for me to win this game 2 scenario, but I lost my biggest hitter. And then I went ahead and set a Trick Room, which isn't bad against a lot of his team, but Chandelure is so good in Trick Room that I felt like I couldn't bring out Xurkitree in this scenario, so I had to bring out Dracovish, which isn't a bad one to bring out. But this, and he goes ahead at this point. He goes ahead and Dynamaxes his Neoligo, and Neoligo really isn't a problem for me because of our Dracovish being choice banded, which thanks to you guys, I most of the time normally run like Mystic Water or Choice Scarf Dracovish, but with this choice band Dracovish we're actually able to one-shot this Neoligo, which is fantastic. Check that out, dude. That's a lot of damage. And choice band Dracovish does not play around, guys. But yeah, I mean, there's still a chance for us to win. This is just now a normal battle. We have a Whimsicott that is at like 1 health, but I still felt like we had a chance if I could target correctly. Maybe Whimsicott will go down. Mamoswine's Icicle Crash doesn't do that much damage to us, so I felt alright. Yeah. But he does have the Focus Sash, which really sucked. So that's one of those big things. Yeah, right there's the Icicle Crash. It doesn't do that much, but him having the Focus Sash where I had to take that really didn't help. We do go into Xurkitree now. That's our last mon, and I was looking at the speeds and stuff, and our Dracovish outspeeds our Xurkitree, so that guaranteed me that I know my Xurkitree is going to be outspeeding this Mamoswine. So Mamoswine's pretty much at revenge kill range for sure, but then he goes for Protect. Chandelure, I believe, goes for a Heat Wave, which does quite a bit of damage to our Xurkitree. I think that was a critical hit. Yeah, and so that was able to put us in revenge kill range with his Mamoswine, which was definitely something that I did not want to see. I think if it wasn't a critical hit, I think we could have survived a potential Ice Shard coming from this Mamoswine. But since he did get that crit, because we need Xurkitree to beat Tapu Fini for sure. And I don't remember if I don't think I did. I should have protected here, but I didn't. I went ahead and tried to go for Thunderbolt, but we do have Protect as an option. I could have tried to maybe take out the Mamoswine and then let the Tapu Fini take out Dracovish, but as you can see, Tapu Fini did outspeed our Dracovish, so that wouldn't have really worked out. But anyway, guys, let's jump into battle number 3. Jumping into battle number 3. So far, Nick, you've been playing very well. I just kind of wanted to give you a little shout out on how well you have been playing. In battle number 3, this battle goes pretty crazy, and it kind of starts off from the very beginning. Let's see, Chandelure and Neoligo versus Whimsicott and Glastrier. So he didn't change his lead from game 2, and I went ahead and stick with what I brought at the very beginning of the games. This has been my lead for all 3 games. Right here we go ahead and Dynamax Glastrier for the final and last time. Hopefully we can pull everything off, right? Look at that HP though. When Dynamax, he's sitting at 414. That's crazy bulky, guys. That's pretty good. We set up Tailwind though. Instead of trying to go for Trick Room, I felt like we had more success in Tailwind against our opponent. So I kind of wanted to see if I can knock out Neoligo, and if Chandelure went for Heat Wave or something, we would have been in a very, very good spot. But I believe our opponent kind of reads what we're doing. I think he kind of adapted for both plays, but he actually goes for Trick Room himself right here, which was a fantastic move. And he knows I have Trick Room on my Whimsicott, so him going for that was a very, very risky move, but very rewarding if he got that off, because now I cannot reverse it, because this turn he's gonna go for Imprison with his Chandelure, and so we're definitely the slowest things right now in the field. And there's not, I mean, we're in a tough spot. He Dynamaxes his Mamoswine though, and this is where I think having a very bulky Glastrier may come in very handy. Alright, there's the Imprison. Yeah, watch how much this Mamoswine actually does to our Glastrier. You know, I know this ain't no super effective attack or nothing, but this is a stab Mamoswine, and we eat that up because we're so bulky. You know, I mean, he probably figured that we wouldn't have this weird investment to where we're super fast and super bulky, but I really kind of like these investments. You know, most of these mons that you invest that way are very fast supported mons. Glastrier kind of plays differently because he already has such a high attack. Right here we were predicting the max guard, and so I was like, okay, so I actually doubled into the Chandelure, but you'll see that we'll just one-shot it. I was thinking maybe he has the Focus Sash, but I believe we found that the Focus Sash was on Mamoswine last game. So, not really don't know why necessarily why we doubled into it, but we did. Predicting the Max Guard, I think, was the biggest play in case if Max Quake wouldn't pick up the KO, but let's be honest, we knew that was going to pick up the KO, at least after our weakness policy boost. Now, here's something kind of unfortunate for my opponent. He does miss his Heat Wave onto our Whimsicott, and I don't know if that would have necessarily messed up the game anyway. You know that. You know, people say, yeah, I missed my attack on you. Well, that's the risk you take for running that move, in my opinion. And another thing, when you're doing a best of 3, that kind of, you know, if one game is hacksy, that doesn't mean both games are hacksy. So, you know, I mean, the best of 3 kind of just, it helps with the little luck that someone could get in a random game. But I understand at the same time, you know, this is, both teams are very strong teams, and him missing his attack really sucks. We protect Glastrier this turn because we definitely don't want him to take that much damage, right? Tapu Fini, I believe, went for Calm Mind, and we're just getting some chip damage off of Moonblast onto this Mamoswine. Tailwind does peter out now. So we're still got one more turn Trick Room, and this is very significant. Glastrier in Trick Room is definitely the fastest thing, right? So we're actually going to go Heavy Slam. Outspeed the Mamoswine. Finish the Mamoswine off. Fantastic, right? Last turn the Trick Room. So this next turn, we're actually going to go for Tailwind, Heavy Slam into this Tapu Fini. And there isn't much my opponent can do for it, because his Tapu Fini is not hitting our Glastrier that hard at all. And right there, Dimensions twist around. Right here we go for the Tailwind. This is the final moves of the battle. We go for Tailwind, and then we go for Heavy Slam. So it's crazy how we can go first in Trick Room, and then we can go first because we just set up a big Tailwind. You know, so we got both speeds on both sides of the field, and I think that's the best part about this team. Like I said though, I think that's a very offensive Tapu Fini, just because I normally don't see Tapu Fini going down that easy. But anyway, great set, Nick. I've enjoyed it very much. Anyway, guys, this is your team. This is your team. So, if you guys have any suggestions on changing any Pokemon out, please let me know in the comments down below. I do enjoy this team. This team plays super well with how I enjoy playing, which is a very hyper offensive style. I do have a video I'll be making probably on Thursday. Kind of like what our new schedule will be is a Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday uploading schedule. And Thursday is mostly going to be pros and cons. Yeah, but I'm going to be addressing one problem I have with this team on Thursday's video. Go check that out when it comes out. Other than that, guys, this team is awesome. I appreciate it. And hey, I know this is the start of something beautiful, guys. Anyway, guys, this is Wi-Fi Merman signing out. Remember, it is in your hands.